Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM WRDN. I'm Brian Winnikins from Commodity Classic, and thank you to our Commodity Classic sponsors, including the Wisconsin Soybean Marketing Board, Synergy Co-op, Bauer Seeds and Service, Wisconsin Farmers Union, Osseo Plastics, Compeer Financial, Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, Alcivia Co-op, Annabis Silo, and the Wisconsin Corn Growers Association. I'm with Sean Goplin with the Wisconsin Corn Growers, one of the farmers, Wisconsin farmers that's here, and we're going to talk about some of the things going on with Classic and some of the things he's been doing. And Sean, thanks for joining us. Well, first, you had a chance to go to Guatemala, I understand. Tell us about that.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I'm fortunate enough to serve on a trade policy team, action team, or advisory team with U.S. Grains Council. So, yeah, our winter meeting was in Guatemala 2 weeks ago.
And what were some of the things that you had a chance to talk about?
So we're always looking for new trade. You know, that's number one. The U.S. farmer does a fantastic job of increasing yields. Well, the markets just don't develop themselves overseas. You know, if we didn't have organizations like the U.S. Grains Council to find new opportunities, you know, whether it's in aquaculture, distillers grain to Southeast Asia, you know, because over 50% of the fresh fish that we eat comes off of a fish farm, because we can't get all of them from the ocean because we would deplete the population. So, and with they used to use fish meal to feed aquaculture or the fish over there. Well, they're depleting the population of fish as well. So it's an opportunity to get distillers to there. And if we can push this sustainable aviation fuel forward, and I think that has huge potential, but we're going to have an excess of distillers grain, so we need markets like that over there. And we also talked, Mexico. That's always been a huge, or has been a huge topic over the last year or two, with non-GMO white corn. So we had discussions about that. And Panama Canal. I mean, we are living in a world market where there's, the Panama Canal, how much of our product goes through that Panama Canal every year. And with the water levels low in Panama, it's causing real hardship, to get our products overseas.
Talking with Sean Goplin with Wisconsin Corn Growers. He's an Osseo farmer. And one of the big things that you worked on a lot over the last few years was the port designation here in western Wisconsin, which is really going to be a big deal, isn't it?
The Mississippi River to us is our fifth coast. Without transportation, it all ties together. We can have all the product in the world, but if we can't get it to the end destination, it's all for nothing. So yeah, working with to get the Port Association, Northern Grain Belt statistical area into a nationally recognized port has been, we're going to see the benefits coming up, hopefully.
Talking with Sean Goplin again with the Wisconsin Corn Growers Association. Meanwhile, you're on the Corn Promotion Board and doing the trade part of it. That's a big part of it, not only overseas, but even in Wisconsin. I mean, I would say I would submit for Wisconsin corn growers. Exports include exporting to Minnesota, Illinois, Iowa, if we need to. But that's also part of some of the things you do.
Absolutely. Our job is to, it's kind of twofold. One is to find new markets, whether they're overseas or in-state, out-of-state, within the country. But it's also, when we're at Commodity Classic now, more of the regulations and lobbying, for what's best for Wisconsin farmers.
So you've been coming to Commodity Classic for quite some time. So what are your takes off of this year's Classic?
Everyone is unique in its own way, and before I came from a Farm Bureau background, so resolutions are always the most important part of whether I went to Farm Bureau annual meeting or Commodity Classic, and I was fortunate this year to become a delegate for Wisconsin Corn. So resolutions. We had a resolutions meeting today. We talked about, had some good discussions about base acres. There's still some debate whether we want to update our base acres and things like that.
Finally, I know we've had some pretty wild weather back home when we recorded this. You all ready for spring on your farm in Osseo?
I don't know if we've just had spring or it's coming up or what, because when we left, it was 70 degrees almost, and then I hear it's 5 degrees with 20-mile-an-hour winds. So, no, and that's, you know, everything presents its own opportunity and its own challenge. So you just give what we're taking to us, and no, we're going to be ready when the ground is fit, and every spring is unique.
Never know. That might be in a week or two.
Exactly. No, and right. I mean, we could be in the field in a couple weeks.
Do you know what's the earliest you ever planted?
Well, we have to go off of insurance deadlines, or we can only start, and I can't remember, but it's pretty typical that that middle of April would be about the earliest. A lot of times, we're end of April, beginning of May usually. By the time we start, the soil temperature is fit.
That's Sean Goplin with the Wisconsin Corn Growers Association from Commodity Classic. I'm Brian Winnikins. This is the WRDN Morning Farm Report.